Hi everyone, welcome back to Sunday School. My name is Annabelle and I'm joined by the other teachers Jennifer, Julie, and Joan, as well as our pastor Richard. This week we will be talking about the parable of the Prodigal Son, but first let's read from the Bible together. Today we will be reading from Luke chapter 15 verses 11 to 32. It is called the parable of the lost son. Jesus continued, "There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, 'Father, give me my share of the estate.' So he divided his property between them. Not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in that whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country, who sent him to his fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. When he came to his senses, he said, 'How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his servants, 'Quick! Bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.' So they began to celebrate. Meanwhile, the older son was in the field. When he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. So he called one of the servants and asked him what was going on. 'Your brother has come,' he replied, 'and your father has killed the fattened calf because he has him back safe and sound.' The older brother became angry and refused to go in. So his father went out and pleaded with him, but he answered his father, 'Look, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders, yet you never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours who has squandered your property with prostitutes come home, you kill the fattened calf for him.' 'My son,' the father said, 'you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.' This is kind of like last week's story where we talked about God being our shepherd and us being his sheep. But in this story, God is like the father and us people are the sons. One of the sons here did not treat his family very well. He told his father that he wanted his share of the money he would receive when their father died, and he took the money and left home. But after he spent all the money, he realized that he was in fact very poor and he regretted everything he had done. This represents us when we commit sins or do something we know we shouldn't be doing. On the other hand, the other son stayed with his father and family all this time and continued to work like he should as a good son. But when his brother came back asking for forgiveness, he was upset that his father forgave so easily because he felt that his father didn't even care to appreciate how hard he had worked all those years. But the father in this story represents God, and luckily we have a God who is very loving, very forgiving, and always ready to welcome us with open arms. So when we do something wrong, we might start to feel very bad and think that God would never forgive us again, but luckily God will always forgive us. When we tell God we are sorry, he is so happy. He is happy because he loves us and he always wants us to do the right thing, and he will always wait for us. Well, that was our discussion for today, and now I'm going to suggest some fun ways to remember what we talked about today. On the screen there are 2 different coloring pages. You can pause the video, choose your favorite, take a screenshot of it, print it out, and color it. This is a good visual reminder of the story. Thank you for coming, and we hope to see you again soon.